weeks ago we talked about taking Etsy photo listings in natural light, but what if you don't have a natural light source, or what if, more than likely, it's the UK British weather and it's pretty overcast outside today? Well, in that case, you need one of these. A softbox. As you saw, it was fairly easy to put together, and the main body of the softbox is made up of obviously the softbox itself, and then most of them come with a stand system that is easily adjusted, and the same with here at the top. You can adjust the angle of the softbox, and then coming onto the actual softbox, I'm just going to drop it down a bit so you can see. Inside here, you've got the little bit where the actual bulb goes. These Velcro on, so you have the option of obviously having it with a harsher light like this, or using the translucent cover, so it just diffuses the light a bit, which is perfect if you don't want shadowing. So we're going to pop the bulb in now so you can see how easy it is. The bulbs are pretty big. Try not to touch that bit obviously, because any oils in your hand, as it heats up, it's not very good. So it's just a, I think it's called a bayonet type fixing, where it's got to be screwed in. And this is a fairly cheap softbox. I think I paid around the £75 for two mark, but that was all the way back in, I think, 2018. So once that's on, you'll usually have a switch at the back. So let's just see, plug it in at the wall and then throw the switch, and as you can see, that's fairly bright. The inside is obviously made of a reflective material, so that will just obviously enhance the light even more. I don't usually use mine uncovered because I find it is a bit too harsh. As you can see there, the camera is really struggling because of the bright light. So instead I use the cover just to diffuse the light a bit. So it looks like a pure brilliant white there on the screen. In reality, it is a bit darker than that, but it works pretty well. So when you're setting up, we will obviously do exactly the same as usual. So you pop your item with all of your background, props, etc., and then we will move on to positioning the lights. So now I've got everything set up. I've got my tripod with my camera on, and obviously my scene that I want to shoot. You need to try and stage your shot so it's more like a lifestyle, so it shows customers exactly how the product will be used. So here for the man poop bag, I have got just some beauty products, and I'm also going to shoot it with cables and batteries and stuff like that, because it is basically a stuff bag that they can use to fill with whatever they want, which isn't as girly as a makeup bag. So once you've got your softbox ready to go, you need to be making sure that it is illuminating the item that you wish to photograph. So as you all know, my space is extremely small. So trying to get all of this done in such a small space is really tricky. That's why I only use the one softbox unless it is literally black outside or at night time. So I position it that the window is on this side here, and then the softbox is on the other side. So instead of the bounce board that we usually use on a nice sunny day, this will just be kind of taking that over. So after that, we need to kind of work on the lighting and making sure that the camera is even, so level, exactly the same as we did before. I appreciate it is extremely difficult to see exactly what I'm doing here. Because of the small space, this is literally the best that I can do. I figure it's better for you to be able to see my phone screen rather than just the lit up area for this bit. So exactly as I showed you in the last video, I'm going to check that this is as level as I can make it. So I'm just using a free app to do that bit. Yeah, that's not too bad. and I'm going to use my preferred camera app as well rather than the Android regular one. So as you can see, the softbox is now in shot, so we don't want that, obviously. So that would mean that I need to move the camera a little bit forward, which has now meant that at the bottom there's not enough of the blank screen for you to be able to edit that down afterwards. So we're going to have to adjust the tripod. Sorry, it's early in the morning, and although I have had my first cup of tea of the day, I'm still a bit sleepy. So let's get this all adjusted. Most tripods are completely adjustable, even the cheap ones, so it is just a case of moving it until you are happy. So now I'm going to use the neck part just to pop that up and make sure that the camera isn't in shot. Much better. So I'm just seeing if you can actually see what I'm doing. Yes, you can. Right. So once I'm happy with that, similar to before, we are going to check out the lighting itself. So at the moment it's on auto white balance, but I am just going to check if we can improve on that. So it's a case of looking behind the actual camera and looking on screen to see which is giving you the best match. I mean, that's not bad. I think that might be slightly better, actually, the bright sunlight. Let's see. That's a bit too dark, and that's really dark. So it is between the bright sunlight and the auto. And I think I'm going to go with the bright sunlight just because of the blue pops a bit better. One thing that you might have to deal with if you are using a softbox is, if I can actually remember how to get to it. There we go. Settings, so the little cog. Okay, is when you go down to your camera, for this app, you've got anti-banding. And because of the circuitry that the light is on, when you're taking photos occasionally, you'll get a band across the image. So you can either keep it on automatic or move it to 50 Hertz, which is what I believe we are on. So once that's done, just like before, we're going to want to use a timer just to help make everything nice and stable. And lastly is the focus. Yep, it's telling it to automatically focus, and let's go. So when we get the nice green circle like that, it means that it's focused quite well. So just like before, I like to take a couple of photos just to make sure that they turn out okay. So as you can see in my shot, I am using some branded products such as Hugo Boss and Lush. I have tried to turn them so you can't see any branding, but I mean, come on, we all know what they are, but it just means that it's not completely visible in the shots. So now that I have done that, I am actually going to show you what it would be like if I wasn't using a softbox. So I'm literally just using the dingy light from outside, and typically, of course, it's going to brighten up now. But let's just have a look. So the camera does, the app, sorry, does quite a good job at compensating the fact that this has come off. And what I'm going to do now is turn the light off, just because the sun has typically decided to come out, which has meant that it's brightened everything up. And I'm trying to show you that if you don't have the option of natural lighting, this is how you would do it. So there we go. So as you can see on screen here, or you might be able to see, maybe not, the shadowing is much more intense. But if I pop this on, shadowing has gone from the left side and completely gone from both sides now. So I think that's a good demonstration of just how important lighting is. So I've switched to the next setup now. When you are setting up your shots, it's really important that you look through the camera viewfinder as well, because of what you are seeing when you look down on the item after you set it up is going to be completely different to what is actually in the camera. So now that that is done, I'm just going to take a few more shots and then I'm going to start editing. Okay, so next stage is editing, and it's going to be exactly the same as before. So I will drop a link to my video about GIMP editing so you can have a look yourself. I'll pop the card here, I can't remember which way it's on, but it'll be there. So much more flattering than the iPod camera. So the editing's all done, and let me start by saying that the photo that I didn't use a softbox, so it was just 100% natural, rather overcast light, took so much longer to edit. I couldn't use any of the auto AI presets because of the colour was just really bad. It was really dark. The shadowings were quite intense as well. So let's show you. And this one is the original no softbox edit. So as you can see, it's not bad. You know, it's completely passable, but when you compare it to the softbox edited photo, then I hope you can see that it's much better. So if you were to look at them in a bit closer detail side by side, you can see that the main difference is definitely when it comes to the shadowing, and the one with the softbox just seems much crisper. You can read the print on the bag much easier. It kind of pops a bit more as well. Everything else on the non-softbox is just either a bit darker shadows behind, or it just looks a bit washed out. And I did try my best with editing, but still I just couldn't seem to overcome it. So is a softbox absolutely necessary? And as you can see, of course, typically lovely sunshine. I'm so glad that I managed filming this now. I'm actually now disco lighting with my David Bowie top round because the light is coming right in, hitting my shoulder pads, and yeah, we've now got a nice disco ball going on. So sorry. Is a softbox 100% necessary? No, it's really not. You can make completely passable photo listing photos for your Etsy shop without one. It does mean that you are a bit more dependent on the weather. If you live in somewhere nice and sunny, wonderful, not a problem. I live on the south coast of England, and for most of the year it's pretty pants. So other than kind of making an outside kind of photography setup, I have tried that before. It doesn't work. There's always too much wind, things get blown over, it's really stressful, the ground's not even, or it'll start raining. So for me personally, not an option. This I picked up in the set of 2, I want to say for around £70. Have a look on Amazon, that's exactly where I got mine from. The one thing that I would say is check the reviews. You know, there are so many out there. Some of them can go into the hundreds if not thousands. They are more for professional photographers. If your budget is smaller, then just get the one. You don't need the 2. I only use mine if, like I said, it's really late and I need it because it's completely dark. In fact, I will pop a photo here to show you. This photo was taken at night time with just the 2 softboxes either side, just on my back wall. So it's, you know, again, it's a lot better. I wouldn't have been able to do that without softboxes. So it just frees you up, you've got more flexibility, and overall, although it's a faff getting them out, I leave one of mine kind of just out of the box and just propped away, hidden away in the corner. It does save time because, like I said, the editing of the photos just took so much longer without the softbox when it was a bit grey this morning. So let me know, do you have a softbox? Is it something you've considered getting, or are you happy with your current setup? In fact, let me know, what is your current setup? I would love to know. Drop me a comment down below. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope that you found it useful. I'm not quite sure what my next video is going to be. If you've got any suggestions, let me know. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye!